I just read the Republicans a pledge to America. The most important thing that we have to realize here is how can you make a pledge based on statements that are lies, not misinformation in this case, but outright lies. Lie number one. Obamacare is the government takeover of healthcare, so we are going to repeal it and replace it with something else. How could this be a government takeover of healthcare where insurance companies are still running the healthcare system? Remember, most of us liberals wanted the insurance companies out completely so that we could get costs down, because the insurance companies, whereas currently they're taking 33% of the policies, they will only be taking likely 18% or so under Obamacare. And by the way, that is the reason why they're fighting so hard, because now their profit margin is limited because of healthcare reform. And if that profit was not limited, where do you think that profit comes from? From denying services, from denying pills, from denying everything from the customers. Secondly, it states that somehow Obama raised taxes on businesses and people. That again is a statement that is not a misinformation. It is simply a lie. Most Americans got a tax cut under President Obama, and that's a verifiable fact. Stating that in a document makes the document unworthy. Now, mathematics is absolute. The Republicans are stating that they want to bring back what we used to call Star Wars. They want to dismantle regulation. Let's remember what happened with BP. They want to also ensure that companies will no longer have any regulation of consequence. We just had a salmonella outbreak. Why? There was very little regulation or very little government involved in inspecting the amount of places that need inspecting. In effect, this document is a sham. First of all, it gives no concrete information as to what the Republicans intend to do if they were somehow to get power. And secondly, what it really does is continue their tenet that tax cuts is all that's important, and that once we have tax cuts, we're going to have a vibrant economy. What is very disturbing about the way this document is covered is that we have evidence. We have 8 years of Friedman type economics, very little regulation and very low taxes, and we have over 20 odd years, meaning the Clinton era and the Roosevelt era, of Keynesian style economics. We can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the economic principles expounded by the Republicans are an abject failure. That can be proven by the charts. We can also prove that using basic Keynesian economics and basic fair taxation, that we can mitigate the wealth disparity in this country, the income disparity in this country. These are absolute things that can be verified, and we have analysis to show it. We can show different Congresses and presidents and policies and show what employment was during these periods. Why the media is not bringing forth these type of discussions, why the media is not pointing these items out when both Democrats and Republicans are interviewed, it simply befuddles me. The reality is we have evidence and we know what works. The economy was destroyed by 30 years of Friedman-style economics, mitigated a bit during the Clinton administration, but not completely undone given what he did with the deregulation of the banking industry. So I would hope that this document would be scrutinized by the media, by the representative media, by a media that wants to do its research. Just the same, over the summer, I wrote a book that details what actually occurred over the last 30 years and how it has actually affected our economy. I wish somehow somebody somewhere in the media would actually take a look at it and see exactly not an alternative, because an alternative assumes that this has some sort of a credence. The reality is this proves positively that the Republican ideology is bankrupt. Now, with regards to the Tea Party has a lot of legitimate concerns. Unfortunately, they have the wrong boogeyman. They have allowed themselves to be misled into thinking the problem is what it's not. The problem is easily discernible. The problem is failed Friedman type economic policies. Let's get real.